Hey everybody, I'm Nick Hamilton here for SportSpeak SoCal right here in Tempe, Arizona at Diablo Stadium at the Angel Spring Training Facility, where we have an opportunity to speak with players, coaches, and managers about the upcoming season as well as life at spring training. Nick Hamilton here, SportSpeak SoCal, MLB baseball writer, Alden Gonzalez. So you've been around the Angels quite a bit. What have you seen thus far from last season and then coming into spring training in your assessment?
Well, I mean, everybody. I think one big difference from this team this year compared to last year is there's really a sense of urgency this year because slow starts have really hurt this team a lot these last 2 years. They really need to get out of the gate hot. They need to have a good record. They've dug themselves these huge holes in April these last 2 years that they've never been able to get out of. I think you've seen guys come in better shape than they have in a long time. I think there's a greater sense of urgency right from the beginning to kind of get in game mode. Albert Pujols has come in great shape. He's moving around really well. Josh Hamilton gained like 20 pounds of like pure muscle. He looks really big this year. Mike Trout looks great. The pitching has looked great. I just think, and they've changed around their spring training program because they really need to get out of the gate hot, and I think that's the main focus right now in camp with the Angels.
Now, what have you seen from Josh Hamilton? Obviously, he's battled a calf injury.
Yeah.
You say I know you had a report that he's coming back Monday to participate and finish out spring training. Do you think he'll be ready by season opener? And then what is your projection as far as the season, as far as his impact?
Well, I think it's going to be close for him. He says he typically likes to get between 45 and 55 spring training at bats so that he feels like he's ready to go for the season. If he's back by Monday, I think there's enough time to kind of get enough work in to be ready. There's always minor league games he could go in. And it's so hard to project for Josh Hamilton because his season was so drastically different last year than any other year that he's put up. But one thing that you could be sure about with Josh is his power is going to come a lot more easy this year. Last year was really difficult for him to just drive the ball. This year, he's back to the weight he was at in Texas. He's a bigger guy. I mean, if you compare him to last year, he's like two different people. I think the power element is going to show up in this game a lot more this year, and I think playing left field, the position he's more comfortable at than right, I think that's going to help him too. I expect him to be better. Do I expect him to be in his MVP form? I'm not so sure about that just because he fell off so much last year. But he's going to drive the ball a lot easier next year.
Now, you know as well as I do, this is an AL West that's been loaded, stacked up to the gills. We watched this pitching staff the last couple of years. I know you have. You've done extensive reports on it. This season, is the pitching staff enough in your estimation to make it and capture the AL West crown in this loaded division?
I think it all has to hit this year. I think the margin for error with the pitching staff is really small because you have three guys behind Jared Weaver and C.J. Wilson. You have three guys who have yet to be major league starters for a full season. That's Garrett Richards, Hector Santiago, and Tyler Skaggs, who's 22 years old. Now, having said that, I think there's real upside with this group because last year they brought in three veteran guys in Jason Vargas, Joe Blanton, and Tommy Hanson, and it did not work out except for Jason Vargas. This year, they have three guys that they can control. They have good stuff, that they have high upside, but they need to hit now because they have no depth in the minor league levels. If one of those three guys falter, there's really nobody that they can call up from AAA that they're comfortable plugging into a rotation for 15, 10 starts. So all these three young guys have to hit at the same time this year, and I think that's the most interesting thing to watch with this team this year.
All right, the last thing before I let you get on out of here, I have to get your thoughts on this. I'm putting you on the spot. Jared Weaver, we all know he's been a great pitcher. He's gotten better with each year. Is this the year that he can capture the AL Cy Young Award?
It's going to be tough because every year he seems to lose a little bit of velocity. I think Jared Weaver has had a lot of doubters over the years because he loses a little bit of velocity every year. But people forget that he's as good as anybody putting pitches together. He's as competitive a guy as there is. He's a guy who wants the ball all the time. I wouldn't put it past Jared Weaver to be in the running for the Cy Young. I'm not sure if he's at the point of his career where he could actually capture that award. But I think a lot of people are overlooking Jared just because of his fastball velocity. The guy could compete. The guy could put pitches together. If he's healthy this year, I think he's going to be in the running. I'm not so sure about winning the award because we have so many young, talented guys who are just coming into their prime in the American League. I mean, it's loaded in the American League.
I'm Nick Hamilton here for SportSpeak SoCal. You heard it from the one and only.